Hey guys, today in Detail with Passion, we're going to demo the lineup of IGL's external ceramic coatings, polishes, and pads.
Alright, cool. So today we're going to be testing out the IGL Coatings ceramic coating lineup. But of course, before we reach there, we have to prep the panels. This is actually our test panel. So it's seen better days. It was pretty dirty, so we actually had to clean it up, sand it down, and get it ready for F1. This is a high-speed cutting compound. We pair this with our rotary and the IGL Merino wool pad for the ultimate cut. Now, besides cutting, this compound actually does most of the work for us. It brings us all the way down and very close to finishing. So how you position the machine with a wool pad most times will determine the type of cut that you actually get. Once you tilt that pad up on the side, you're going to maximize the amount of cut. Then we use IGL F3. So F3 is actually the polish. We add this with the DA and a medium foam pad to remove the light imperfections left behind and the rotary trails left behind from IGL F1. This is F2. This is actually the third bottle in the lineup. Right now, I would list it as the third because it stands by itself. It's the only polish in the lineup that actually has diminishing polishes. F1 is non-diminishing, but that's cutting from start to finish. And this is a micro abrasive nano polish. So the pads that we actually use on this is two types of pads. One was a rotary wool, merino wool pad from IGL, and one was a IGL yellow pad, which could be used for medium or light cutting. Obviously, we'll pair the more aggressive pad, which is the merino wool pad, with IGL F1 because that's your cutting stage. And you will now pair the finishing pad with F3, which is your medium cut and nano abrasive polish. Now, this panel was repainted multiple times. It was sanded multiple times. It's seen better days. So we just wanted to correct and prep the surface enough to get the readings that we're going to look at here with you guys. If you look closely at these panels, in this corner in particular, there are a lot of imperfections still. The goal today was not running it down to get it as flat as possible and as perfect as possible. What we want to do is actually see how the different coatings were applied, the performance of the different coatings in the lineup, and then take different readings with the detailometer. This will bring us now to the step of pre-coat, where we prepped each panel and started the IGL coating process.
Today we're going to be using 4 of the IGL ceramic coatings. There's IGL EZ, Elixir, Quartz, and Poly. Starting off with a quick demo of application with IGL Poly. Now moving on to IGL EZ. IGL Quartz, and lastly IGL Elixir.
Hey guys, so I am taking over from Amir. He would have done all the paint correction and also install the ceramic coatings on this test panel that we have here today. So the coatings that we actually used on this test panel would be IGL Poly, IGL EZ, IGL Quartz, and IGL Elixir. Now these are, well, Poly and EZ, both of these would actually be 1-year coatings. And then Quartz and Elixir would be a 2-year and a 3-year respectively. The major differences between these would really just be cure time. So Poly and Quartz would actually be 4 to 6 hours before you could get the vehicle wet, whereas EZ and Elixir really only need about 2 hours of cure time before the vehicle could get wet. This kind of makes them ideal for people who maybe don't have a controlled environment or mobile detailers that need to turn over a vehicle pretty quickly.
As a bonus, now we're going to answer some common questions about ceramic coatings. First up, does ceramic coatings add gloss?
A lot of people put gloss and ceramic coatings together. Actually, gloss comes from your preparation. And when I say preparation, I'm not even talking about the polish system as yet. We're actually talking about how you prep the surface, how you open up the pores, how you exfoliate the paint. Then when you move to your cutting, then when you move to your refinement, your jeweling, this is what gives you the gloss, right? All of this from IGL is organic materials. They produce and do everything in-house. That brings me now to the next point. All of these different coatings here, all from IGL, and all are actually eco-friendly. The important thing about organic eco-friendly coatings is that they are not high solvent, they are high solids. Some polishes on the market actually have a lot of fillers in it, and when you use high solvent ceramic coatings, it actually pulls all the oils out of it, and it now reveals imperfections that the polishes did not remove from the panel from before. When we sanded down the panel and we checked with the gloss meter, it gave us a reading average of 2.1 or 2.3. And then when we went up now to the cutting stage with F1, the wool pad and the Rupert's machine, the rotary machine, we actually just started cutting and refining. This actually brought us up to, I think, somewhere in the 80s with the gloss meter, 84 to be exact. Yeah, so the F3 was more of your jeweling stage because the F1 actually did most of the work all the way up to the refining. Now, these compounds are high cutting, but then how you use the tool could actually affect where you end up. So just like earlier, how we mentioned turning the machine on the side, slowing down the speed of the machine while running it before you remove it from the panel is actually bringing you closer to finished or ready to polish stage. When we use the F3 now with the DA, we actually refine the surface and remove all those holograms, and that brought us up to a reading of 85. So it was average of 1 point or a little over 1 point or 1 unit. And this was just before pre-coat and ceramic coating application. After taking readings with the gloss meter on all the panels that were coated, it actually went up by 1 to 2 points. So to answer the question, coatings and gloss, do they go together? Yes, but if we revert to all the readings, you're going to see that the major difference came from IGL F1, heavy cutting, and then refinement. So it's yes, but it's negligible.
What's the benefits of getting a ceramic coating?
So ceramic coatings actually provide a couple benefits, which I think are pretty important in our climate in the Caribbean. The first of which would be UV protection. Any ceramic coating on the market is going to give you some level of UV protection, help prevent the clear coat on your paint from prematurely fading, you'll get this powdery finish and so on. The second benefit would be the self-cleaning aspect. Most ceramic coatings would offer increased water beading or a better water contact angle, and this basically translates to a bit of a self-cleaning effect. It doesn't mean that you don't have to wash the vehicle. It just means the vehicle will take a little bit longer to get as dirty as it was before. And when you do go to clean the vehicle, it should be cleaning a lot easier than it would be if it was uncoated.
What are, if any, the downsides of having a ceramic coating?
I really can't see much of a downside to getting a ceramic coating on any vehicle outside of maybe the upfront cost. It is going to cost more than a wax. It is going to entail having some paint correction done on the vehicle. So to me, that would really be the only downside, the upfront cost of getting a ceramic coating done.
What are some of the most common misconceptions of ceramic coatings?
One, I don't need to clean my vehicle. The vehicle is protected. That's not necessarily true. Coating is a sacrificial layer. It sits on top of the clear coat, or is actually bonded to your clear coat. It will help prevent some damage, or the correct terminology is to really increase the resistance to. It's not going to really prevent. So swirl marks. It can't prevent swirl marks, etching from chemicals. It's not going to completely prevent it. It's just going to give you a little bit of a buffer before you have permanent damage to the actual paint system. All right, guys, so that was just a quick dive into the IGL coating lineup. All of these are actually available for anybody to come in and purchase. They do have a professional lineup as well, but more the certified detailers would be accessing those coatings. So if you are interested in the IGL coating lineup or If you are an existing detailer and actually interested in the professional lineup, you could always give us a shout at ANP Distribution. You can follow us on IG, Facebook, or the Detail with Passion YouTube channel. All right, so my name is Akib, and this was Detail with Passion.
See ya.
See, okay,